Have you ever wondered why laughter, a simple human reaction, can sometimes become uncontrollable and even infectious to the point of causing mass hysteria? Throughout history, there have been several instances of such phenomena where laughter has spiraled into an epidemic affecting entire communities, even leading to social disruption. This intriguing phenomenon, often classified as mass hysteria, is a testament to the power of human emotions. One such peculiar case is the Tanganyika laughter epidemic of 1962. Our story begins in a small boarding school in Tanganyika, now modern-day Tanzania. It was January of 1962, when an ordinary school day took an extraordinary turn. Three girls full of youthful energy started laughing. Now laughter's infectious, we all know that. But this was different. This wasn't your everyday chuckle. It was an uncontrollable, ceaseless laughter that just wouldn't subside. Bizarre, isn't it? As days turned into weeks, this curious case of laughter didn't stop at these three girls. It started spreading, almost like an epidemic. Schools became the stage of this strange spectacle, with students laughing for hours, even days on end. Teachers, baffled and concerned, watched as this laughter virus caught on, reaching more and more students. This was no ordinary laughter, it was a peculiar phenomenon that gripped the community. And just like that, within weeks, the laughter had spread like wildfire, affecting hundreds of people. The laughter didn't stop at the school gates, it ventured out into the community. This wasn't just an isolated incident contained within the four walls of a school. It was a ripple effect, a contagious wave of hysteria that spread far and wide. It started with three girls in a school in Tanganyika, but it didn't take long for the laughter to spread to other students, and eventually it spilled over into the wider community. Imagine, if you will, a laughter virus. Invisible, infectious, and incredibly potent. It swept through the region, touching every home, every family, every individual. It was indiscriminate, affecting not just school children but adults as well. Within a matter of weeks, reports suggest that over 1,000 people were caught up in this laughter epidemic. Now you might be thinking, laughter, that's not so bad, right? But this was no ordinary laughter. This was an uncontrollable, relentless fit of laughter that lasted for hours, even days at a time. It was accompanied by other symptoms too: fainting, rashes, crying, and in some cases violent reactions. This widespread hysteria took a toll on the daily life of the community. Imagine for a moment trying to carry out your routine tasks, your work, your chores, while battling an uncontrollable urge to laugh. It was chaos. Markets were disrupted, gatherings were thrown into disarray, and conversations turned into bouts of laughter. The impact was profound. The community was on edge, filled with a strange mix of amusement and fear. It was as if life had been put on pause, held hostage by an unseen force. This was not just an epidemic, it was a social phenomenon, a puzzle that baffled experts and laymen alike. The laughter epidemic was not just about the laughter, it was about the disruption, the confusion, the fear. It was about a community grappling with an unseen force, trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy amidst the chaos. The epidemic had a significant effect, leading to the closure of schools and disruption of daily life. This was the Tanganyika laughter epidemic of 1962, a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. As the laughter continued unabated, drastic measures were taken. Imagine the chaos, the confusion, the sheer absurdity of the situation. An entire community gripped by uncontrollable laughter. The laughter epidemic had rapidly spread through the heart of Tanganyika, now known as Tanzania, and it was showing no signs of stopping. The situation grew so intense that authorities had no choice but to close down schools. The laughter was not just confined to school children, but they were certainly at the epicenter of the outbreak. 14 schools were closed, some for weeks, others for months, affecting thousands of students. The closures were not only a measure to contain the spread, but also to protect the children, who were physically exhausted and psychologically overwhelmed by the relentless laughter. But what was the psychology behind this laughter epidemic? Theories abound. Some psychologists attribute the outbreak to what's known as mass psychogenic illness, a phenomenon where physical symptoms with no known medical cause appear within a group, fueled by stress and anxiety. The year was 1962, just months after Tanganyika had gained independence. The newly independent nation was in a state of flux, dealing with a mix of hope, anxiety, and uncertainty. Could these socio-political stressors have triggered such a bizarre response? It's a possibility. Some experts have also suggested the role of emotional contagion. a process where a person unconsciously mimics another person's emotional state. Imagine a room full of people yawn or someone near you starts laughing. You'd likely feel an urge to do the same, right? Now imagine that laughter becoming uncontrollable, spreading like a wildfire, fueled by anxiety, stress, and the sheer power of suggestion. But despite the closure of schools, the deployment of medical teams, and the best efforts of authorities to contain this epidemic, the laughter only seemed to grow, to spread, to grip the community tighter in its inexplicable hold. Despite these measures, the laughter epidemic showed no signs of slowing down, of slowing. However, as mysteriously as it started, the laughter epidemic began to fade. Over a period of months, the uncontrolled outbursts of laughter that had once gripped communities across Tanganyika slowly dissipated. The involuntary chortles, the spasms of giggles, the waves of hysterical laughter that had once echoed through schools, homes, and marketplaces began to quiet. Imagine, if you will, the gradual return to normalcy. It was a slow process marked not by dramatic shifts but by the lessening of laughter, the decrease in frequency of these peculiar episodes. It was as if an unseen hand gradually turned down the volume day by day, week by week, until the laughter was but a faint echo, a memory. The relief that swept across the communities was palpable. The silence, once a cause for concern, was now a welcome change. Schools reopened, markets bustled, and life as they knew it resumed its usual rhythm. Yet the laughter had not entirely ceased. There were still sporadic outbursts, but they were far and few between, and they no longer had the power to disrupt everyday life. The laughter epidemic had come to an end. Yet, its end was as enigmatic as its beginning. It had started without warning, spread without a discernible cause, and faded without a clear reason. But the mystery of why it started and why it stopped remained. The Tanganyika laughter epidemic left more questions than answers. This bizarre event has left a trail of speculation and theory, but no definitive explanation has been universally accepted. One school of thought put forth by experts attributes the event to mass psychogenic illness, a phenomenon where physical symptoms with no known organic cause spread rapidly among a group. These symptoms are often triggered by stress or fear, and in this case, the political uncertainty and upheaval of Tanganyika's recent independence could have served as the catalyst. Another explanation delves into the realm of sociology, suggesting that the laughter epidemic was a form of collective behavior or social contagion. This theory posits that the laughter spread as a form of mimicry, a social response to the tension and anxiety pervading the community. Some psychologists, on the other hand, argue that the laughter could have been a mass nervous breakdown, a collective emotional response to the high levels of stress and anxiety. They propose that laughter, in this case, was a release valve for the pent-up emotions and fears of the community. Yet another theory suggests that the epidemic was a form of mass hysteria, a collective delusion born out of an intense desire or fear. This theory aligns with the fact that most of the affected were schoolchildren, a group that could be more susceptible to suggestion and peer influence. Despite these theories, none have been conclusively proven, and the debate continues in scientific circles. The lack of physical evidence, coupled with the unique and unusual nature of the event, has made it challenging to pinpoint a definitive explanation. In the end, the Tanganyika laughter epidemic serves as a fascinating case study into the power of the human mind and the complex interplay between psychology, sociology, and culture. It underscores the fact that sometimes the most intriguing mysteries are those that lie within us. To this day, the Tanganyika laughter epidemic remains one of the most intriguing cases of mass hysteria. So, what can we learn from this unique piece of history, you might wonder? Well, the Tanganyika laughter epidemic of 1962 was more than just a peculiar event. It's a testament to the profound and unpredictable ways our minds can respond to stress and uncertainty. This strange phenomenon began as an isolated incident in a single school, rapidly spreading throughout the community, causing widespread disruption and leading to the closure of numerous schools. Its decline was as gradual and unexplainable as its onset. And despite the numerous theories proposed by psychologists and sociologists, the definitive cause of this laughter epidemic remains shrouded in mystery, leaving us with more questions than answers. It's a fascinating reminder that the human brain is a labyrinth waiting to be explored, and that we are only scratching the surface in our understanding of it. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the human mind, the laughter that once echoed across Tanganyika serves as a reminder of how much we still have to discover.